Jamal Roberts was a young man with a voice that will be remembered forever when he went across the stage of American Idol in 2025. However, for those who live in Meridian, Mississippi, Jamal has always been more than simply a singer. A representation of community, faith, and pride in one's hometown he is. This past weekend, Roberts went back to his hometown, not to sing for famous judges or to seek praise, but rather to motivate others to make positive changes and to give something back to the community that had a significant impact on his life. During the Breast Cancer Awareness Walk, which was organized by the Friends of Jamal Roberts organization and led by the finalist of American Idol, downtown Meridian was transformed into a sea of pink that was a powerful monument to love, resilience, and unity. One of the goals of a hometown hero. There was a bustle of activity on the front lawn of City Hall, which was situated in the warm Mississippi sun. The arrival of families was marked by the donning of pink T-shirts and ribbons. Survivors carried tokens of hope, and youngsters clutched handmade posters that said, "We walk for Mom, and hope lives here." The audience let out a round of applause when Jamal came onto the small platform to greet them. This was not for a television celebrity, but rather for one of their own. He grinned, clearly moved by the support that he received. Jamal's voice could be heard above the buzz of excitement as he announced to the gathering, "I was brought up to believe that it is more beneficial to give than to receive. It is going to come back to you, as well as to your neighborhood, your family, and your city, when you donate. This is something that is going to happen." The tone for the day was established by that statement, which was to give from the heart. Jamal found the occasion to be more than just another public appearance. It was a personal experience for him. His aunt, who passed away, fought breast cancer, and the courage she shown left an indelible impression on him. Jamal has stated on numerous occasions, during interviews, that her fight taught him the true definition of the word courage. As hundreds of people joined in Meridian to walk side by side in support of those who were fighting, surviving, and remembering, that spirit of bravery was undoubtedly present. The walk that brought a city together. At the beginning of the walk, the streets of downtown Meridian were filled with many emotions, including laughter, tears, and resolve. At the same time as local sellers distributed water bottles with the phrase, "Walk with Love" printed on them, a marching band played joyful tunes. The walkways were sprinkled with pink balloons. "Warrior" and "Thriving" were written on the sashes that the survivors wore. Throughout the course, volunteers displayed placards that reminded participants of the cause. These signs included phrases such as, "Fight like a girl," and "Early detection saves lives." Jamal kept his distance from the crowd by walking in the middle of the crowd, waving, hugging, and pausing to snap pictures with supporters. Despite the fact that he had achieved national celebrity, he remained the same unassuming young guy who sang in the choir of his church and assisted his neighbors in mowing their lawns. "It's not about being famous," Jamal told a reporter as he was walking across the street. "It is about being faithful, faithful to the people who believed in you when you had nothing but a dream," said the person. At the conclusion of the walk, the atmosphere at City Hall was filled with cheers and expressions of passion. It was a warm embrace. Those who had survived told their stories. There were tears and smiles, creating the ideal picture of the resilience of the community. Music with a purpose. The mini-concert. Jamal returned to the platform immediately following the walk, but this time he brought his microphone with him. On the other hand, contrasted with the gloss and splendor of American Idol, this stage was straightforward, genuine, and without pretense. Jamal had a brief but powerful concert that had everyone chanting and clapping along with him. He was supported by a small band of local musicians while he presented his performance. Andra Day's "Rise Up" was the first song he played, and he dedicated it to every woman, every fighter, and every survivor throughout the world. Because of his heartfelt performance, the audience was moved to tears. Afterwards, he sang a song that he had written during his time on American Idol, which was titled "Home Means More." A wonderful reflection of the day, the lyrics discussed leaving in order to pursue one's aspirations and coming back in order to give all back. "Before I even had wings, they planted me in the ground, and now I'm soaring back home with love to bring with me." Away tears. I was brought up in this town when he had finished, now it is my duty, but it was not the kind of pause that follows a performance. Rather, it was a pause that was filled with thankfulness and feelings of wonder. Subsequently, the applause was resounding. After Jamal finished the concert with a gospel medley, everyone was on their feet, clapping and swaying in response to his performance. He was now spreading a message of optimism through the streets of his city with his voice, which was the same sound that had captured millions of people on national television. The message of the day, going even further than the music. Not only was the event about raising awareness, but it was also about taking action. In addition to providing free health screenings and mammography sign-ups, the lawn was lined with booths that distributed informational leaflets. Partnerships between local health groups and the Friends of Jamal Roberts Foundation were formed in order to guarantee that resources were accessible to all individuals. There was a distribution of information by volunteers regarding the prevention of breast cancer and the significance of early detection. This information is especially important in smaller towns where access to healthcare may be limited. We knew that this event would be something special the moment Jamal reached out to us about hosting it, said Carla Jenkins, who is in charge of organizing the community event. It was not enough for him to simply show up. He desired to make a difference in the world. Indeed, he did it. Thousands of dollars were donated for cancer care initiatives in the local community through the event, and donations are still coming in over the internet. That was the true victory for Jamal the whole time. It is not a secret ticket or a record deal. Rather, it is the coming together of a city that is bound together by love and purpose. Taking a moment of pride for Meridian. For the people who live in Meridian, the event quickly evolved into something more than just a stroll. It became a celebration of their individuality. A revitalized feeling of community was established in the city as a result of Jamal's leadership. The city is frequently recognized for its profound musical origins and southern charm. Murals depicting well-known musicians from Meridian, such as Jimmy Rogers and Hayley Williams, appeared to merge in with Jamal's narrative, so establishing a connection between the past and the present of Mississippi's musical legacy. When Jamal was a teenager, he would perform at local festivals, and the elderly locals recalled watching him perform. As one woman commented, he used to sing in the church youth choir, and back then we all said, "That boy is going to go far." But look at him now, coming home and lifting others up. What a remarkable transformation he has undergone. There was also participation from local companies. There were pink lattes served at coffee shops, pink bracelets were sold at boutiques, and a bakery contributed 100 cupcakes that were embellished with musical notes and ribbons. The town was painted in all shades of pink and pride, and it was visible from every direction. And achievers who have a heart of service. It is not simply his voice that sets Jamal Roberts apart. Rather, it is his heart that makes him stand out. In spite of the fact that American Idol catapulted him to prominence, he has managed to keep his feet on the ground. He frequently discusses topics such as faith, family, and humility, and he attributes his ability to remain focused to his mother and the community of his church. When he left Meridian to compete on American Idol, he made a commitment to himself that he would return to Meridian whatever of the circumstances. Because this location is responsible for shaping who I am now. Fame is fleeting, but community endures for all of eternity. It was clear that his words struck a chord with those who were there for the walk. It was reported by a number of parents that they brought their children to the event, not only to meet a celebrity, but also to witness an example of compassionate behavior. Despite the fact that the news was picked up by major media sites, Jamal maintained his modesty. After that, he submitted a remark that was full of emotion. "You are so sweet, Meridian. You arrived loving, wearing pink, and in a position of authority. Let us continue to make progress toward remembrance and optimism." Floated upward as the sun began to set over City Hall. Under the illumination of the lamps, the city plaza continued to reverberate with the sounds of gospel music and laughing. The walk was more than just an occasion for many of the people who participated. It was a revitalization of spirit. Children learnt the importance of giving back to the community, survivors welcomed their loved ones, and volunteers pledged to continue spreading awareness of the need for assistance. At that precise instant, Meridian was not merely a tiny town in Mississippi. Rather, it was a community that was brought together by compassion, fortified by faith, and guided by the music of a young man's innermost being. An announcement was made by the Friends of Jamal Roberts organization regarding their intention to make the Breast Cancer Awareness Walk an annual event, with Jamal serving as the organization's honorary coordinator. A movement that can be traced back to acts of kindness, music, and a sense of purpose. It is a legacy that will outlive television seasons and the conclusion of talent shows. Notes to conclude: a voice that extends beyond the stage. When Jamal Roberts was trying out for American Idol for the first time, one of the judges remarked, "You have a voice that can move mountains." In Meridian, he demonstrated that his voice is also capable of moving people's hearts this past weekend. One thing is very clear: Jamal Roberts is not simply singing songs, rather, he is composing change. This is evident as his community continues to radiate with the warmth of his presence and the cause that he championed.